So what happens in a one-to-one session with me? Well, firstly, they take place on Zoom. I don't need you to be here in person. We're looking at energy, and energy has no time, no space, so it can shift from anywhere. I've got clients all over the world, so that's a testament to the fact that you don't need to bring your body to the house. And the other benefit of doing the sessions on Zoom is that I can record them, and then you are able to watch them in the portal. So my particular skill with my intuition, clairvoyance, is to look below the surface. And so when someone comes for a session, how it starts is I close my eyes, I tune in to the energy field of the person I'm working with, and then sometimes images emerge or colours. Sometimes the person has questions specifically that they want to ask. And then what starts to come out are what is kind of in those deeper, inner, hidden levels, the below the surface stuff that we're mostly not conscious to. That's almost usually the driving force behind these things. So and I'm going to use an example from a reading many years ago, which I think highlights what I do. So this is about 20 years ago now. A lady came for a reading. She was very well dressed. She was very elegant and composed, and she sat down in front of me. I went through the ritual of closing my eyes and tuning into her energy. And the first thing I saw in my mind's eye were images of physical abuse. And I say how she was composed because it was the antithesis of the images I was seeing. And I thought, oh my goodness, I can't say this. But I had enough experience at that point to know that even if I didn't understand it, there would be some correlation. So I thought, I've got to speak it. So I opened my eyes and I said to her, look, I don't know if this is going to make any sense to you, but I'm seeing images of physical abuse. And she looked puzzled for a moment and blank. And then suddenly her face sort of sprang to life and she said, oh, that must be from my marriage 20 years ago. And I said, well, that's the energy that's still in your system that's holding you back in where you want to go here in life. I said, I wouldn't see those images if they had no correlation to what's going on for you right now. Even though the experience happened a long time ago, even though cognitively you've probably worked through it, on some level, on the unconscious, they are sitting in your system. And so for her, it was an illuminating moment. For me, it was an illuminating moment because I realised that even though people think they've worked through things, like they can spend 20 years navel gazing and looking at things, so they can have a very high conceptual understanding, but if they haven't made the connection they need to make, or the peace they need to make, the acceptance, whatever it is they need to do, that will stay, that energy dynamic will stay stuck in their space, blocking everything moving forwards. And I know this from my own life and personal experience. So I don't see what's not there. It's like when things emerge, it's because there's some connection. And this was a great example because I thought, wow, how am I going to say this? So I thought, I'll just say it. I'll just say this is what I'm seeing. So that's how it works. It's a really good way to get at what's below the surface. And that's not all I see when I sit down in front of someone. But because I'm always looking, my focus when I work with someone is them in their best self in life, their powerful trajectory moving forward. So what emerges is what is in the way of that happening, what's stopping that. But we also look at what steps they can take pragmatically in life, in moving forwards, whatever the issue is. You know, my specialist area, I would say, is health and well-being, but I've had many people over the years with relationship things or job things. But health and well-being is where I have done the greatest healing for myself, so it's where I've got the most information. So if that intrigues you, interests you, or think it might help you, get in touch for an intuitive guidance session. They are £90 and around 60 minutes. Just drop me a message and we can go from there. Take care.